So now we'll create a similar, you know, similar MVC project via Spring Boot. Earlier we have created the same via Maven. Now we'll do the same via Spring Boot. So what did we do in the previous session? We just made sure that we know the folder structure: src main java, src main resources, and then we have web app, webinf, JSP, and the JSP files. That is one thing that we made sure. Then we started our project by creating the application context object. We registered the application config, right, via register method. Then we binded the dispatcher servlet with the servlet context object, and we set load on startup, and we said add mapping. Anything after / will be taken care by dispatcher servlet. We created one application config class wherein we told, wherein we said that there will be a bean for internal resource view, resolver, which will add a prefix and suffix, which will mention who will compile, who will render the class JSTL, right? And ultimately we return the bean. Similarly, we added the resources from where the JavaScript and the images, or from where the images and the CSS will be pulled, that we mentioned. And we created one home controller class so as to show when home URL pattern is invoked from URL, right, a controller should have the settings to return the index.jsp back. The return type of a method was string, right? That is what we did in the previous session, right? We made sure that in POM we add the 5 dependent jar files: Spring Web MVC, right, JavaX Servlet API for JSP, and JSTL. Total 5 we did it, one for servlet, another one for JSP. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create a similar project using Spring Boot, right? So first question that comes to your head: why Spring Boot? Answer is very simple. Spring Boot allows you to create, there are 4 words: faster, production, grade, application. The meaning of these 4 words is, let Spring Boot handle the production build. You focus on the business logic. You focus on how the application will behave. Give the build part, deployment part, right, to a project of Spring framework called Spring Boot. Spring Boot will manage everything for you. It does the configuration for you without explicitly you having the need to do it. You don't have to do anything, right? If tomorrow, next time onwards, somebody asks us what is Spring MVC, that we have learned. Today, we have just learned what is Spring Boot. When somebody will ask us, we will simply say Spring Boot is one of a project that comes under Spring framework, which allows us to create a faster production grade application. Simple meaning, POM will be managed by boot, right? I don't have to remember 519 release, Spring jar file. I don't have to remember that. I don't have to remember 3.1 for servlet, right, 1.2 for JSTL. I don't have to remember these versions also, right? So that is what Spring Boot does for us. Now question is, how do we create a Spring Boot project? It's a very simple process. All you need to do is go to your browser, simply type Spring Initializer. In Spring Initializer, there is no E between Z and R, right? And the first thing that comes up is start.spring.io Spring Initializer. Via this URL, we create Spring Boot project. Absolutely right. Spring Initializer link. This helps us create a Spring Boot project. What are we using? Maven, not Gradle. Which language are we using? Groovy or Java? Java. Spring Boot 2.3.2 is the stable version, so they have themselves selected that, right? Remember, in the previous session we mentioned the domain name in which an artifact ID or a project can stay, right? We are going to talk about a Spring MVC project, which will be created entirely using Spring Boot, right? Description you can mention, of your choice, that this is a boot project for us to understand how boot works, how Spring Boot works. Package name, it could be com.test.project name, or you can simply use com.test only. Don't use complete project name. You can have a package name like this also, right? So this we also did in the previous session. Now dependencies. See, I told you in the previous session you need MySQL developer. So first dependency is this MySQL driver, right? Then we are going to use JPA also. I selected JPA also, right? Now I have JPA. JPA stands for Java Persistence API. We need MySQL driver to inject the dependency. This is a connector jar file which will help me connect with the database. JPA, which will allow me to write, use annotations to fire query. Last dependency is Spring Web, right? I added that also. You can remove anything, right? Simple. The moment I will click generate, a zip file will be created for me in my downloads folder. I will unzip it, take my project, and I will open it via IntelliJ IDEA. I'll open it via this IntelliJ IDE. So I said okay. So project is created via Maven, language is Java, Spring version, stable version. I can use these three versions also. But one thing you need to make sure, please make sure you have MySQL downloaded. And you need to remember 4 things: port number, URL, username and password that you need to connect to the database. And through download code folder, we have also given you the query to create database, query to create tables, query to add records in the tables. We have given you all that, right? So user table, product table, all the queries are given to you. H+ is the name of a database. You can give any name of your choice, it depends on you, right? If I open it via edit notepad++, this is creation of a table, right? It will add the records, it will make some checks, basically simple product table, nothing exceptional. We will create a scenario for login registration of a user. For that we need a user table in the database. So there is this user table with these fields, primary keys, ID, right? And all this will be created in a database called H+, right? So first create a database, then add the entries to tables. right? The query to create database, you will also get that via download code folder. It's there, right? It's there, query to create database, and then we add tables into it, right? It will help you create a H plus database, right? If you find any issue in creation of a database, just let me know and I will tell you how to create database also. This guest app and services is for the security, right? Coming back to our project, so the moment I say generate, it will create a zip file and it will put the zip file in my local. It has created, right? It has successfully created. This is the project. I can extract, in the same download folder, right? If I say OK, in my downloads folder a project is being given to me. What I need to do is, in my downloads folder, I need to take this project, cut this, right? I need to take this because this is the project that we need to open, right? I can take this out and I can paste it in my downloads folder itself. Right? It is pasted. Now to open the project, all you need to do is just say file, new project, right? I need to open one project, right? And I need to open a existing project. So file, new project from the existing source. C drive is given to me. Users, my user. In that I have got a download folder. In that I have got project base. We have created a project called, this is a project called MVC Spring with Boot Spring, right? If I say, I've got multiple projects residing here, this is the project, right? If I say OK, again it will ask me same window or new window. Maven, import project from the external model, Maven, right? Same window, new window. I said new window and a project is being given to me, right? It will take a little while to set up the project for us, to create that folder structure, src main Java, src main resources, right? Web app, web inf, JSP folder. Again what we need to do, add the resources, add the JSP file. But since it is boot, we don't have to work on the pom.xml, right? Pom.xml will work on its own by Spring Boot. It will take a minute to set up this project. You can see in the end resolving the dependencies. It must be downloading MySQL, right? JPA, web. What do I need to do? I'll get application.properties. I'll tell how to connect to this database, right? I also have not started my database. It is not mandatory for me to start this database. I just should have this database in my local, right? To have a database, we have MySQL database, right? So MySQL workbench, right? I'm going back to my project MVC Spring here with Boot Spring. As I said, it will take a little while to set up the project. You can see in the end it is taking time to process, right? I started my database. I just clicked over there, right? I just said MySQL. Once you will also download, you'll also get a workbench like this, right? It will take a minute because I have got multiple projects opened, right? I can close my existing projects. I can close this one, right? I can close others also, so that RAM becomes free. I can close this one also, right? In the meantime that comes up, we can close this also, right? If I check, this is the project that is still taking time to adjust. In the meantime, guest app, guest services, web project with Maven Spring that we created in the previous session, right? I will keep that also so that you can access his database. Got opened. This is my local instance. Root localhost 3306 is the port, IP is localhost, root is the username. I have also set root as a password, right? Same is what I am going to provide to the application, right? My database is already ready. So if I select H plus user or product, I can fire a query. It will give me user records. You can see it gives me a user record, right? All these are user records in my database for this very application, right? Similarly, I can check the product table that we will use. That is also there in my local images, right? That is also there. And in the meantime, let's check whether the project comes up or not. It is still taking little time to process it. Let's talk about what exactly I am going to do. So one thing you need to remember, Spring Boot does not work if MySQL is not there. Please download it, make it, remember the port number, remember the IP, remember the username, and remember the password, right? Now we created a Spring project using Spring Initializer, right? And we remember the dependencies that we used: MySQL connector and JPA. Now what all I'm going to do, see, in the previous session I created application initializer, but here in Spring Boot you don't have to create that also. Who has done it for you? Boot has done it for you. So Boot basically manages your bootstrap process. Bootstrap process is the initial startup process. Initial startup process meaning who will initiate your application, who will handle how the application will turn up. In case of Spring Boot handles. What I will do, I will make sure application config is there. Boot will make sure they pull this application config. Then I need to make sure at least one controller is there. In the coming classes we'll create some 20 controllers, right? In the resources we'll make sure, now we'll add one static folder because Spring Boot says images and CSS, they both are static, and we'll make sure that JSP resides in the web app folder. Coming back to our project, yes, the project is created for us, src main java com test, and already one Spring Initializer class. This is a application initializer class that is already being designed for us. Resources has got static folder, application properties is empty. Now how shall I start? I told you we don't need the application initializer, we just need the application config and the home controller. So I'll go to my previous project. This is my previous project, and what I will say, don't give me application initializer. I copied these two classes, application config and home controller, and I pasted it over here, right, in the com test package. And controller is also there. I did not make even a small change. I can recreate this entire thing, right? I can again say that this is a controller. I can again say, there is a class with the name of home controller, right? I could have said this class will receive a URL pattern with the name home, right? This will relate to a method which will return me a string, right? The name of method could be anything. I am saying go to home page. Here I am returning index.jsp, and I can print one message which is that we have successfully reached in the home controller, so that it helps us once the application runs. This is it, what it was there. Application config, we remember that it will look out for com.test. Now static is there. So one change that I need to mention, that in class path CSS and the images reside in the static folder. That one change I have to do, but still I have not copied that. So what I'm doing in the resources, I copied, Control C, I come to my project, I pasted both. Once I pasted, it shows me CSS and the images, both are there. Who needs that? JSP needs that. But where is web app? Web app is not there. Like it was src main Java resources was not there in Maven, here web app does not exist. I can copy web app and I can paste web app in the here. What I did, I just copied this entire thing because Spring understands this directory structure, src main Java, this code, resources, static. Now just to let you know one major thing, we created application initializer in the previous class which implements the web application initializer. Here I told you don't need application initializer. One Spring Boot application annotation is given to you, right? This is already there for you, right? I am running this very class, right? We are running a Spring, our MVC Spring with Boot Spring application, right? So this we have got. Now one more thing, because you will be needing the JSTL, right? Two things rather. In my POM, what is there? In the POM, this parent is there, Spring Boot starter, starter parent 2.3.2 version, group ID, artifact ID, this Java version 11 we have got, right? I have got 1.8 in my local, right? And it has to create a war file, right? MySQL is there, all this is there, but I need to add two dependencies, right? Just two dependencies we need to add, rest everything will be managed by Spring Boot. One is my bean is using JSTL, right? So JavaX servlet and artifact ID JSTL. Version we don't need to mention. Now build process also, or here itself I can mention one more dependency, which is, remember, org Apache Tomcat embed, right? So that auto deployment happens. Org Apache Tomcat embed, right? This is the group ID. The artifact ID or the name of a JSP is Tomcat embed Jasper, this one, and I can mention that please give this jar file by the Apache Tomcat only. So I can mention scope provided. Tomcat will give this to you. Just make sure you have these two jar files. JSTL, because here in application config I'm using JSTL class, JSTL view class. For that I need. Otherwise we would not have, every other thing is provided to us by Spring Boot only. Right? And for auto deployment, you can make sure that, for auto deployment you can make sure that this Tomcat embedded Jasper, it is there. Right? Now project structure is placed. Everything is being, is placed. I was saying this application config, it actually extends the web MVC configuration support, which further extends this application context aware, right, and servlet context aware APIs. All right. So what we are saying that now application.properties regarding how to connect with the database. As I told you, you need to remember the username and password. Now I am going to mention out 5 properties. Right? First property, Spring JPA. This is just a one-time activity. Hibernate, DDL, data definition languages, auto. Right? I'm right, update. So as of now they can use it, but in future when Spring Security will do it, I will make it none, because then my code will handle everything. Here I am saying let the database role play its role. Right? So Spring JPA Hibernate DDL auto means update and none. 2 values are there. In module 1 to 8 I have kept update. In Spring Security I will make it to none, because everything will be created by the project. Right now everything is managed by the database. URL to connect with the database, JDBC, it is a MySQL, right? And we are using localhost, right? Port number 3306. The name of a database is H+. This is how they will connect with the database. Then the username and password to connect with the database. Right? I said username is, root, and I said password is also root. Right? Thereafter, we can have one more configuration. We will talk about exception handling in web applications. Right now I am saying you handle the exception. So Spring auto configure exclude, right? org Spring framework, boot dot auto configure dot web dot servlet dot error MVC auto configuration. Right now you manage the exception handling. In the coming module I will remove this line also, because we will be managing all exceptions. Right? Now I have made one mistake. Here I mentioned Java 11. I did not bring this down, and I did not select war file. Right? So it will create a jar right now. I needed a war. 1.8 we have already done. Right? 1.8 we have already mentioned. But here I said it is going to create a jar file. What you need to do is, in your POM, in this very project, in your POM, right now packaging, it's not mentioned. Alright, so I just need to add one line. This is a already, you have got these projects with you, right? What I'm going to pull, you can also pull one small line for yourself. This is a project, boot project, so I can open pom.xml with notepad++, right? Packaging var, that is it. Here I come, so here I need to mention that it is going to create a var file, right? It is resolving the dependencies. Because of that, one more thing has happened. In the src main java com test, right, you got this servlet initializer. We did not get it because we did not say that we needed a var file. There was one more class which was required over here, which was servlet initializer, right? I need to mention this MVC Spring to this very class. Once you create a var file, all this will not be required to be done. And I was saying in the previous project you were using web application initializer, that is there in the Spring Boot servlet initializer also, right? Tomorrow I'll recreate this project for you. Point is just that I forgot to mention var file, nothing else. The moment you mention var file, you don't have to do anything of this sort. This will come automatically for you, right? The entire project is set up, entire boot project is set up, controller is there, config is there. I have said that in the class path under the static folder, CSS in the images are there, way to connect with the database is there, servlet initializer which will come to you by Spring Boot, by Spring Initializer, that is there. Now it will work on 8080 port number, right? And to make this project work, we have got Spring Boot. All you need to do is just run Spring Boot run, right? The moment I double click it, it will work localhost 8080. After that, home direct. You don't have to mention the project name, right? You don't have to mention that. Direct home and the project will work for you, right? So this is just a one-time activity, right? What did we do? We just did few things. Like first one is we opened Spring Initializer to create the project. There I forget one thing, you please don't forget, right? There you need to mention that you need web, you need JPA, and you need MySQL connector. Alright, thereafter, if the database is ready for you, you need to mention in application.properties the way to connect with the database. First thing, Hibernate auto DDL property to update, meaning let database handle everything. In security, I will make it to none. That means my code will manage everything. Then URL to connect with the database, username and password to connect with the database, right? If you don't know about URL, username, password, in our Core Java course, the last two modules completely talks about JDBC and the way to connect with the JDBC, right? Every time we have our JSP resides in the web app, right? So that is there. This time we got src main Java and src main resources. Boot says in the resources, static images and CSS are static, which is right also. Servlet initializer will be given to you by default, right? By Spring Initializer. It was my mistake that we did not get it, right? Let's check. So it says application exit, that means some error has occurred. Just click run. Port number 8080 is already in use. Now I have the application to close all ports, right? Let's say my application name is TCP view, TCP view. You can also download that application it will help you kill all the all the ports which are not being required, right? So let's say TCP view. Here is TCP view. I can open it. Here is the application. I will close 8080 port and then the application will run, right? This problem comes when the port is already occupied, right? I will go to my application, right? 8080 port number. I can put this in the incremental order. Here is the 8080 port number, right? port number. So I said end process, okay, and the process is removed from my local, right? Same thing happens on the production also, QA also. This is how they free the port number, right? Now you see end process, it should end 8080 port number, right? In the background, right? Now it is ending. My system is little slow right now. All these processes are being running by TCP only. So now the process is ended. I will go over here, rerun this. This time it will work. What it will do, it will create the war file and it will deploy the war file. This is a little, this looks little tedious for initially, but later on when your hand becomes strong on projects, you'll be able to do that. It is the same process that is being adopted every time. This is how a Spring Boot project is created. Nothing additional apart from this. Need to take our words. War file is getting created, right? War is getting created, then it will deploy the war. How the war is getting deployed? Because of this pom.xml. Remember that we mentioned the war will be deployed by Tomcat Embed Jasper, right? Let's see whether it creates the project for us or it doesn't create the project for us, whether it deploys the project for us or it doesn't deploy the project for us. Right? So we need to take for a second or for a minute. Now it is deploying into production directly using the war file, right? Absolutely right. Now it is deploying the war file directly on the server, using the war file, which this will only create. This whole thing is the simplest of the process because this is Spring Boot. You have added JPA. We will make use of JPA in the coming sessions, right? JPA. Now it is starting Tomcat on 8080 port number. It was not utilized, so it did not give us error, right? Coming back to our project, it is starting now the deployment process. It took this much amount of seconds, and deployment is complete, right? It started. Application is started on 8080 port number. Now how shall I test this? Of course I will go to browser. This time localhost 8080, and we have a home controller. So the moment I say enter, it's that home controller should work, return the index.jsp, and it prints the entire index.jsp. CSS and the images are also coming perfectly fine. This time this entire project got created with boot. Earlier we created the entire project using Maven. That is why project name was there. This is also a way to recognize which project is created via which mechanism. With the passage of time you will get the experience to identify that also. Right? Point is, this is how a Spring Boot project is created. Is there anything else in Spring Boot? No. What is there in Spring Boot? First of all, it is a project of Spring Framework. It allows us to create a faster production grade application. It manages the POM jar dependencies to itself. It manages the deployment to itself. It manages the initial startup, the boot startup process to itself. That is the perfect thing for a programmer who wants to care about the jars, who wants to care about the deployment, and who wants to care about how the project will initialize, how the project will bootstrap. Local host means dev local environment, right? Absolutely right. Otherwise environment team gives us a IP can be matched to a website URL. Let's say ours is javaspringhibernate.com. behind that there is a IP, right? That is production. Absolutely right. This is local host is development, right? Otherwise application config, which used to create production, means it should normal URL. Absolutely right. Right, we created application config, that same internal resource view bean resolver, that same add resource handler, who will help dispatcher servlet. For that, servlet initializer was already given to us by boot. Servlet initializer and Spring Boot application annotation, that is also given to us by Spring Boot, because boot manages the bootstrap process. We've just created one simple controller, and in the coming classes we'll create many controllers. Right, now thereafter application.properties. I mentioned that we do view resolver, I mentioned that we do theme resolver, I mentioned that we handle localization, internationalization. Here we had a DP support, username, password, URL to connect to the database. How did we do that? With the help of application.properties. Right, that you need to remember. Jars, and yes, as part of POM we need to remember 5.19 release of Spring Web and Web MVC. We need to remember that. Right now I just use this. Prior to boot, when we used to create projects with Maven, I need to remember the Hibernate jar files, I need to remember the JPA jar file versions, I need to remember the security REST jar file versions. Who wants to remember all that? Spring Boot says there is a Spring Boot starter parent that you are using. You have got everything with it. The stable version, just by Spring Boot. How can I prove that? How can I get to know that? Jar file resides in the external libraries. Here are the jar files that I need. For the entire course, the jar files are given to us with the perfect dependency and perfect stability. I don't need. Right, for security I might need a third-party jar file. Here we don't need any of this. I mean, everything is given to me by boot itself. Right, this is about Spring Boot. Otherwise index.jsp, web app structure, src main java, these structures are still the same. Right, we did not do anything additional, rather just we knew how to start a boot project. The mistake that I made while the project creation, you don't do that mistake. You don't have to. Just that I need to select 8 and I needed to select jar var, then I need to do this. And you don't have to create a servlet initializer, that you will get. You don't have to add the packaging var, that will automatically be done for you. but still you need the JSTL, the jar that you added because of internal resource view resolver and Tomcat embed Jasper for auto deployment. This is how you can create Spring Boot. Everyone uses Spring Initializer for the same, right? Practice this. If this does not happen correctly, there is no point moving ahead. This has to happen correctly in your local, then only it is good to move ahead. So create a project, make your hand strong on creation of project, right, before we learn other concepts. This is about Spring Boot. Same Spring project that we created with Maven in the previous session, similar Spring project we created with Boot also, right? Thank you.